Hall of Fame shit, nigga.
Let's go.
Keep it. Come on, get out there. Get out there.
Okay.
Good catch, my boy. 5 Unit Nation, man. Number 1, man.
Hey, man, go run this shit up, man. Let's go on. We spend.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of SGDS, Same Goals, Different Struggles podcast. I am your host, Ajay Brown. This is another extended version. I do apologize, y'all. I just my last extended version that I just dropped, man. My audios was kind of fucked up. I think I had my headphones plugged in, 2 headphones plugged in at the same time, and I ain't check it, and I end up posting it and not really going back over it. I do apologize for that. I did get the message, and I just figured it out before I even got the message. I just didn't redo it. So what I am coming back on here, I'm gonna do something different today, y'all. But before I do get started, if you never heard of me before, my name is Ajay Brown. I am the host, the founder, and whatever you want to call it, to this Same Goals, Different Struggle podcast, y'all. Independently own. Everything I do is out of my pocket. Just trying to grow my fan base, just trying to get my message out there, while also dealing with my own behind the stuff scene. I appreciate everybody that subscribed to my channel already. And if you haven't and you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, comment. I do comment back. Today, y'all, I'm going to do a extended version on David Banner. I think I have never done one before on David Banner. David Banner is one of the person that I really respect in the industry. One of the people that I really like. When he talks, I listen. I got a lot of respect for. We might not always agree on everything, but I do have a lot of respect from the knowledge this brother has. Just from all the information that he has from the industry and just life in general, man. So he did an interview with Cam Newton, and I said I was gonna go ahead and do one of these. And since I messed up on the last one, I said let me go ahead and get started and do this because I really ain't feel like doing one today. But I'm gonna go ahead, y'all. Let's get this started on the Cam Newton interview with David Banner, y'all. And if there's anything messed up, y'all let me know in the comment.
People treat you exactly how you treat yourself. I had this martyr complex. I felt like I had to save everybody. I had to save the world. What I realized is, can we cuss?
Yeah.
Some need to suffer. That's how God corrects you, through your suffering. And sometimes we try to save people who it's not their time to be saved. They need to be in their hole.
Yo, what's good with it? What's popping with it? What it is, what it ain't, what it could be, what it should be, what it would be. Cam Newton, the son, Mr. Boogity, all here with another episode of Funky Friday. And ladies and gentlemen, I promise, I really do promise to give good content for the masses, but most of all, I just promise to keep it funky. Now, my next guest, I had the opportunity to speak with him before on a different platform, but now we're on to bigger and better things on this platform. A very rogue individual, a brother that's been empowering and impacting so many different facets of the culture, all right? He's an actor, he's a producer, a rapper, an activist. I present to some and introduce to others. David Banner, David Banner.
Hold on, I'm trying to give you the reveal. Hold on for a second. You know you make me wanna...
Too cute.
Okay, nah.
Well, But you've been on that lately.
I have, brother.
Because it's like, what is it about? Man, I seen a clip of you, bro, online where like you was soul searching. Like you ain't afraid to make eye contact with a chick just to be like, hey man, hold on, you. Hey, hold up, stop. While I got everybody's attention, specifically you, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you comment, but most of all, make sure you subscribe. Back to the show.
Bro, that was 29 seconds. Women went, no, it's about 47 seconds. Women went crazy, bro. All over the world. What's funny, Cam, is that it's rooted to something very serious. About 2.5 years ago, I went through the worst depression I ever went through in my life. And I realized that people treat you exactly how you treat yourself. I had this martyr complex. I felt like I had to save everybody. I had to save the world. What I realized is, can we cuss?
Yeah.
Some motherfuckers need to suffer. That's how God corrects you, through your suffering. And sometimes we try to save people who is not their time. So I had to love you. My therapist told me, he said, David, you always talking about black people.
That's crazy because, like I said, I've had these talks before on this channel, and if you ever heard me speak before, bro, like I've always told you, like I've had that same problem, and it's cost me actually financially, spiritually, and just led me into a real deep depression myself. I try to keep mine a little bit more behind the scenes more now while I go through it. Maybe one day I'll be able to speak about everything I'm going through right now. This process, bro, like as a man, is very, very difficult. You go through things, especially with your kids right now, and just them growing up to be who they is and the culture environment that they're around, being influenced by it. And it's a hard thing, man, like just growing through certain things behind the scenes, yo. So I understand him from that point of view when it comes about depression. And it's good that even at his age, he's still seeking help and therapy help, and hopefully the right therapist and a valid therapist and somebody who actually has the credential, mind you. And I also want to speak on that. I'll speak on that with somebody. How do y'all feel about therapists, man? Do y'all think that a person with credential is more valid to speak on it than somebody that's been through it as far as experience? And that one is kind of, I'm a 50-50 with it, because I feel like life experiences is better to me from when I'm speaking to you than somebody that doesn't know and just hasn't been through what I've been through. But you're basing your therapist and you're basing things off what you've been taught in a society of the Western atmosphere as far as what they teach us in school and everything. Mind you, I don't know. I haven't studied with therapists and what they go through, and there are different like methods of how they go through things to get people to, how can I say this, to really open up and just be able to fix themselves inside, and how they help people. Mind you, I don't know that. I'm not a professional at that, but y'all let me know in the chat how y'all feel and what y'all think about that.
Black people. So why don't you treat you the way you want yourself to be treated? So people think that it's ego. It's not ego, man. Like, I really, really love myself. And I honestly think I am the second sexiest motherfucker that ever walked this earth. I got to give it up to Jesus first. I let him have that. You know, I don't have that carpenter swag. But after that,
that's you right here. Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, okay. Making sure.
Yeah.
But no, man, it's bro, I say shit sometimes, bro. I make myself laugh.
But are you serious?
No, I'm dead serious. Oh, I'm not playing that.
So there ain't no need to laugh if you serious.
No, it's funny because I like me. Like sometimes I say shit like, damn, dog, I like you. Like, I really like me.
See, this is the thing, Mr. Banner.
What?
I love me. You said like you.
Well, you can love. There's a lot of motherfuckers I love that I can't stand the motherfucker.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, because I always loved myself.
Okay.
But liking, waking up in the morning, like, I like hanging out with me. I don't. Man, I used to always wonder why my grandmother and my grandfather in Mississippi, how they could sit out on the porch all day and do nothing. I get it now. When you at peace with God, man, and you at peace with yourself, and you're not fighting, it's going to come to you. I do want to say this, though. It's very important to me. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
We're growing. I'm watching us grow. I'm watching you grow. I was going to save this for later, but I think this is the best time. Bro, when I look at Black people in general in America, I think this is the best time in history for us to move forward. While America is focusing on other things, other sets of people, this is the time for us to come together. But what I'm watching is us tear at each other like slaves. Bro, when it comes to commentary and especially football, I only know one or two people who's in front of cameras that can say anything to you about football, bro. A lot of people are catty and they take shots at you because they can't be you. They don't have that love and respect for self that you do. They don't have the history that you do. It's getting to the point, bro, what people are talking about everything but music. It's the song jamming, it's the beat jamming. Don't nobody care about that no more. I have to go to ESPN 19 to hear about the fucking game. What happened on the game? Not how much somebody's getting paid, not how who is somebody having sex with. And bro, I thought about this before I came here when I said I was going to say this to you. Arsenio Hall is an example of somebody who did it right. He didn't take the cuts in the corners, because the more that we try to find ways to bait and click people, the more I think that we lose our soul. Bro, nobody has the self-determination. Most people didn't go through what you went through in college. I studied you, bro. You recreated yourself after all that bullshit, bro, and fought your way back. You put a whole university on your back who had never had that kind of light on them before. You did that, bro. So at this point in your life, you don't have to chase nothing. Your biggest competition is you. Because ain't none of them motherfuckers, they saw when them kids tried you, how them bodies started flying. They're not going to try you physically. Bro, from a fashion perspective, y'all, for real, the only reason why I dressed down today was because last time me and Cam was on the same podcast together. Yeah. It was like two titans from a fashion perspective clashing. So I said I was going to turn it down.
Just turning it down?
Yeah, of course.
Yes. This boogie you prove.
This light work. Light work. I tell the girls all the time, don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Excuse me, that's that right. Now, I did hear where you take credit of being the first person with the salt and pepper steez.
Well, it ain't salt and pepper no more. It's snow.
It's snow, but the blacks.
Yeah, my mother.
The asphalt snow combine.
My mother was the one that showed me that, bro. I'll tell you something, especially with us being Southerners.
Okay.
And I told people this about the Migos. I said people from other places try to say stuff about the Migos, but they steal their style. Mm-hmm. They steal the way that them boys rap. They steal the way that they dress.
Man, have you ever been locked in on summer plans and you hit that classic moment? What am I gonna wear? I'm talking about graduations. What else? Weddings, Memorial Day weekend, my birthday. The calendar just starts to stack up fast. And suddenly, every invite comes with some type of penny. And that right there is the main reason why I rock with Macy's. They ain't got nothing to wear, into sheer confidence. Their personal stylist helps you lock in a full look. And get this, they'll even help you find the perfect gift while you at it. I don't know about you, but I still love that in-store feeling. Touching the fabrics, trying things on, mixing shoes and all type of accessories. See the whole fit come to life. Plus, you have fragrance and skincare experts helping you build that summer glow and helping you lock in your signature summer scent. So when it's time to show up, tell you it's not scrambling. You're ready.
They steal their lingo, but don't want to give them credit for the effect that they've had on culture, bro. Yeah. My mother said, man, I noticed, sweetheart, that the people in sports, the rappers, none of them were wearing their gray beard before you started doing it. And I did it because my mentor, I went over to my mentor's house and I was getting ready for something. And he walked in the bathroom where I was and said, man, you got more products than my wife had. I had Beijing and all of that kind of stuff. I'm in there Beijinging it up.
Solo.
And, yeah.
Like you doing it.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing. I do most of the stuff that I do.
You do?
Yeah, because, well, my barber does it, but I know what I want. And I go and tell him, and he duplicates it.
I got you.
But, like, nobody knows me like me because that's what I had to learn about fashion. You doing it right now. Mm-hmm. Most people couldn't do that, bro. Even if you gave them the kit and you kitted them up, bro, fashion is inside of you. Like a lot of times, bro, like when I started moving to the bigger pants, I wasn't comfortable with it. So I would literally go to coffee shops and start with new fashion and just walk around with it. You know, I remember when I had my first super big pants, because I wasn't used to that. I went and I got to say, Black Thought, he was doing that 5 years before anybody else was. But I had to go walk. I walked around in the, I changed up. Remember Regina in the airport when we was coming from Canada, and I wore it in the airport so I could be comfortable in it. Okay. That's the reason why when you see two people that's wearing the same clothes and one person, even if they're an attractive person, it don't look right on one of them, and then the other one it does. I learned that from Andre 3000. Andre can go into Goodwill and pick out something that's fly than anybody at the Grammys, because the true fashion is the God that's inside of you. Like, I'm happy with me. I love what I do. I told a young lady, she said, David Banner, you sexy as hell. And I told her, I know. And she said, huh? And she said, you're getting sort of arrogant. I said, I'm not arrogant. I work I know. When people are, business grows like 62%. So I realized that is part of my job. When children look at us, and I'm talking all this positive shit, kids see the Ferrari, kids see the clothes, because
I gotta start doing best self-care of myself. I really didn't, like, I'll be honest, man. I come on here looking rough as hell some days, bro. I look rough now. And it's just really because I ain't really in the financial state, just trying to save my money, but I got to do better self-care, just taking care of myself. Maybe that'll grow my business and grow what I need to, because, bro, who wants to deal with her always looking rough and all this stuff? Like, you want somebody that take care of themselves and, keep themselves up, go to the dentist, go to the doctor. Mind you, I do all that stuff, but I get where he's coming from, bro. Like, I just understand that when people are attracted to you, it's just a different type of feeling. It's a different type of, it could be good and bad. Sometimes you get tired of the attention, but when it comes to business wise, bro, I definitely get where he's coming from and understand what he's saying. And it's food for thought, just something to think about if you're doing business, about how people attract to you. The first thought, first impression is everything, they say. I'm 50-50 with that, because I know I had some bad impressions of some people and they become good people. You know what I mean? So I definitely understand where he's coming from, bro. And we all got to do better. Just self-care in general, bro. Like, mentally, physically, just better self-care. And not doing it just for your business, doing it for yourself. You feel me? Like, you'll feel better. You feel better inside, and just as an overall person.
Most people who fight for black people are poor, on drugs, in jail. The feds done got to them. Kids say, oh, you can be a revolutionary, drive a Ferrari. Yes, you can. Oh, well, I want to learn how to do that, dude. And so all of that, man, it all comes together. That's why I'm saying, bro, what you're doing is bigger than sports. And people are afraid of you, dude. Yeah. You are a fashion icon, bro. You are someone who did it and literally came back. Most people do what you do because they have to. You did it because of the interest. Yeah. And you are building a brand that if you stay consistent, nobody can do what you do. I was just telling them outside, they were asking me, you know, what could I tell artists to help them move forward in their branding? And I said, it's hard for me to say because it's different for everybody, you know? And most people in the United States want to be one of 5 people. All you have to do is make people think that you are one of those people. That's it.
Think. You have to make them think,
yes.
Or you don't even have to be that.
Make them think. Okay. Because everything is dictated by what you
think.
It is not true until you
think. I'm with you. You've lived so many different lives, from artist, producer, actor, activist. What version of yourself do you feel that you're most right now?
Believe it or not, Cam, and I never thought that I would say this, is I'm a fucking rapper right now. I've never, ever rapped like this in my life. And I am very interested, because I say this about especially basketball, when everybody wants to argue about who's the GOAT. I say until Black people set standards and goals, so it's partially influence, it's partially how many championships. We got to put a number, because most people want whoever affected their lives to be the GOAT when they have their opinions, right? And it's usually never based in the truth, you know? But I've always, lyricism has always meant something to me. Hip hop has always meant something to me. But I realized that hip hop didn't always love the South. You know, so it didn't matter how well I could rap, because they didn't give it to Andre 3000.
Clark, how's your silk press staying so sleek on these 2-week vacations?
No comment. But I did use Shea Moisture Silk Press in a bottle, so my hair was protected from the humidity. Clark?
Watch this. Some people will say that Outkast is the best rap group, is the best group of all times over the Beatles. Have you all heard that? Right? Well, how in the hell are they the best group of all time and they come from the genre of rap? Then how in the fuck are they not the best rap group first? So the imperialism that we don't talk about in hip hop is so deep that you will give them something that is so-called greater. You said it better than the Beatles, but they're not the best rap group of all time.
I think it was Time Magazine. And how I know this is because I just completed my vision board. Time Magazine did 100, the best 100 albums of time. Stankonia was, and to your point, you know, the Beatles had numerous albums that was on there, along with other, and it wasn't just specific to rap, hip hop, gospel, whatever. I don't think any gospel artist was on there. It was mentioned, but it wasn't labeled as a Hot 100 most influential rap albums. And this magazine that came out a couple years ago, but it typically was rock and roll. It was country. Seen Kenny Chesney's name. So many different others, but we weren't represented as much, specifically the genre of rap and hip hop. My question is not necessarily on topic of rap and hip hop. It's more specific to you being and having roots of Jackson, Mississippi. Do you think Mississippi is slept on?
Yes, very much so. But more specifically Mississippi.
Okay.
You can trace most contemporary music in America back to Mississippi.
Okay.
Most great music, the basis of it is pain. No one has suffered in North America the way that the African or the Moorish people have, right? And so the reason why our music resonates the way that it does is because the one thing that everybody in this room will have in common is pain through death, because everybody's gonna die. A lot of times for me, it is one of the reasons, again, why I am so proud of you, is it's not the music. Mississippi has never had a problem with music. It has always been the morbid history that's connected with where we're from.
Yeah.
And the cameras. Some of the most talented people who you all love right now, they're from Mississippi. They just don't say that they are.
Who?
You know, that's neither here or there. You know, and if they choose to not say it, I am. And that's all that really matters to me.
Because I think when we're talking about Mississippi, and why I say the who is because I think most people acknowledge where they kind of got their name from.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying?
Exactly.
A lot of people were born, somewhat raised in different places, but they rep Atlanta.
Watch this, and you're gonna love this story. That is one of the reasons why I have the love that I have for Atlanta, because Atlanta did something for me that I don't think any city has ever done for any other artist. Atlanta knew that I was from Mississippi. I never really wanted tattoos in my life. The reason why I got this tattoo on my back, because I said if I ever turn my back on my people, it still say Mississippi, even if I turn my back. So Atlanta loved me. And a lot of people said it was because also the respect that I had for Atlanta. They knew I was from Mississippi, but I was coming up through the same tunnel as Lil Jon, as T.I., as Bone Crusher, all of these people at that same time, right? And Atlanta opened the door for me and allowed me to go through that door. A lot of people have said that I got that $10 million deal and I moved to Atlanta. But that's actually the opposite from the truth. I got on in Atlanta. I got on from Jerry Smoking B from Hot here in Atlanta. Then I moved back to Mississippi because I didn't ever want my people to feel like I turned my back on them. And so Atlanta allowed me to do that. And so for me, I got into not really an argument a couple days ago. I saw a young cat, you know, he was up in Atlanta, like just popping really, really loud. And I asked him.
So a lot of people ain't got their big break or start. I would say they big break. I ain't gonna say start because they'll start wherever they from, but they big break their opportunity in Atlanta. I didn't know he broke in Atlanta. When I first heard about him, I just always, it was on 106 in Park. And Like a Pimp just dropping. That was one of my shit. But one of my partners I grew up with, he's from Mississippi. But he grew up and he claimed, you know, he has his attachment with Atlanta. So I seen how people, you know what I mean? I'm from Atlanta. I mean, well, I said I'm born in Atlanta, but I'm from the south side of Atlanta. So if you understand, if you know, you know, but I don't like to get keep getting into depth of that because people make too much of it. But yeah, man, I definitely understand him and what's his name. And then people like I ain't gonna say, I'm gonna just be real, people like to shit on Mississippi, bro. But it's a lot of culture there. It's a lot of, you know what I mean, a lot of people that's really from the north. Their history is from the Mississippi. That Mississippi Trail, like all that stuff, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people, a lot of slaves that was in Mississippi, they broke, you know what I mean? When they ran away, they broke north and went to Chicago or whatever. But a lot of people, you can see, if they go to Chicago, a lot of people roots are from Mississippi, bro. Like, for real.
I was like, bro, where you from? He told me where he from. I said, where you live? He said, I live in Atlanta. I said, well, if your city is that great, then take your ass back there. Like, you owe the land something. When we are in these colleges, I was just speaking at HBCU a couple days ago, and I said, we all want to change the world, but if you go to a historically Black college, then 9 times out of 10, there's a Black community right across the street. Walk your ass across the street and change the community, the Black community across the street. We don't have to do these esoteric big things when there's people that's hurting right here. And so in Atlanta, I will always be grateful for Atlanta, for them loving Mississippi and allowing me to come through the portal of their city because they got so many talented people and they let me rep Mississippi.
So specifically to that that thought process, what would you say that you've outgrown where you're from to go to let's say, the big city with big dreams, the LAs, the New Yorks, the Miamis, the Atlantas, the Texases, like those, you know, the Houstons, the Dallases, you know what I'm saying? Being from the small spaces in America where you may feel like a shark in a lake.
No, I definitely haven't outgrown. You don't outgrow anything. As a matter,
I'm talking not you specifically. I'm talking about the individual, like
I'm gonna
young
answer that. But what happens is this: what happens in most cases. Have you ever noticed when you get a contract from white folks, there's about 40 pages of what they want from you, and about 3 pages of what they're going to give you. When we walk into business situations, we usually don't know our worth and we don't know what we want. All we know is we want some money. When you know, I know you know this now, usually if you get a lot of money on the front end, you getting your ass towed up. You a slave at the end, right? So what I realize is that when we stay in these small spaces, we usually don't have a vision. I saw a store in, I just gave my phone away because I didn't want, I don't even know. It's a store in DC. It was one of the most inspirational things I've seen, and Black people own it. Chef Rock works at it. I'm sorry. Memoirs, I think is the name of it. I don't even want to get an idea away. But you could never do this idea in New York because all of the space is bought up. You could never do this, which what I just seen that you just bought. You can't do this in a big city, bro. You can't. You don't have the land. You may even have the money. You can't afford it. But in the places that we're from, a young lady with Nashley, right? Bean Path, this girl bought up 45% of downtown Jackson. She's going to create a tech hub in Jackson, Mississippi. She couldn't do that nowhere. And even in which she won't, even if she failed, she owns 45% of downtown Jackson. How fucking player is that? We just don't have the vision of God. That is why we perish. So we look to go and be a part of other people's vision. That's one of the only criticisms that I have of people who want to rap. Most people don't want to rap because of the culture. Most people don't want to be great at what they do. This is the legalized dope game for a lot of people. And that's my only problem. If you do it and you love it, I don't care where you from, who you are, and how you do it, if you respect the people and the culture. I give you one last example. I get so motherfucking mad when I go to a Hawks game and we playing another big city. I don't see no red in the building.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and video downloads, so you can watch cooking shows as you eat airplane food. YouTube Premium, it's way more than ad-free. Try 1 month on us.
Dude, I don't care who my favorite team is. An Atlanta team is always going to be in the top 3 because that's where my companies are in. In my movie company, we are establishing a 33.3% Georgia rate. And what that means is 33% of every position, whether it's actor, whether you're doing hair, whether you're a grip, you have to have a Georgia license in order to fill that spot. And that is my way to make sure that I always give back to what Georgia did for Mississippi.
Talk about business. What other business ventures do you have outside of, you know, music?
So I can tell you some of them. I just can't speak. And because I trust you, I'm going to say this on your show, bro. Bro, I have people who wait to find out online what I'm doing, and they write letters to companies. And bro, it's terrible. And I've never done nothing to nobody to deserve that type of treatment. Yeah. I'm not saying that I've always been perfect. I'm not saying that I've always made the right decisions, but I'm learning that people can't stop you until you're so far down the road, and people will take your ideas and take what you do and duplicate it because they have access to more resources. But bro, I have a company that's called Banner Vision. I've been doing scoring and doing marketing for Fortune 500 or very, very big companies for the last 22 years. I did the second biggest Gatorade commercial in history. You know, I've advised, I'm about to be the face of one of Georgia's biggest companies. I just can't talk about it yet. But what I will say, bro, it's a strange place, and I want to tell you about it and talk to you about it as a man, not necessarily just for the show. It's crazy because I have to be careful about my activism now, because in a lot of cases, our people don't know how to support the right people, and the people who make the sacrifices and that really stand for the people, we'll let them fall. And I'm too close to being able to buy land. I'm too close to being able to buy waterways. I got a friend right now who's one of the top comedians in the world, and I just don't want to tell his business. He is in the process of buying a town, bro. He just can't find, they don't have a proper water system in the town yet, and he's trying to figure that out. That's the thing that I want to be a part of, Cam. It's not what they say about you in 10 years. It's not what they say about you in 20 years. It's what they'll say about you in 200 years if they know you fuck.
Like I heard somebody say this earlier, bro. Like, and I think I mentioned this too. We are all, everybody with a camera, everybody that's on here doing what they doing, creating their own brand, creating their own history. This is part of Black history, bro. Like, we just hasn't been enough time yet. But what are we creating is just another generation, another Black history, bro. And I see where his mindset in that. I miss having that mindset, bro. And I gotta get back to it. And that should be all our, like, a lot of our mindset. I can't say it's for everybody, because everybody don't want the problems that come with all that situation. Everybody ain't built for that. So I get it now and I understand it, but definitely that's a major move, power move, to be having land and businesses downtown in any city, any city, especially like if you had it in a bigger city, like what Cam got right now. Cam podcast and stuff is in, like, I think it's right by the Mercedes-Benz state, because he do it out of his cigar bar, if I'm not mistaken. But what he has brand and built, bro, like, you can't hate on that, bro. Like, that's a very respectable, and it's hard to get businesses down here in Atlanta and be able to profit off of it and then keep the rent up and stuff, because everything is just growing and getting it's more expensive. So you got to give mad respect to that too, and mad respect to what David Banner doing.
Lived. And I don't want to be known for just play and fucking, that's what they did to Martin Luther King. They picked the most digestible time in history about him, and that's what they put out to us every year. If you go back and look at Martin Luther King, and it's online, the speech that he was going to do at his church that the week that he died, you would have thought that was Malcolm X. Martin Luther King was sick of getting his ass beat on. He wanted to be about finances. He was talking about some of the things that were going on in the war that nobody dared to speak about. That was the reason why they killed that man. But the version of Martin Luther King that Black people love, I don't think Martin Luther King liked him when he died. If they could separate themselves, he wouldn't like that dude.
Well, how that's heavy.
But it's the truth.
But how
He told Harry Belafonte, I think I have integrated my people into a burning house. That's basically telling Harry Belafonte everything that I built my life on is a lie. He said that. David Banner didn't say that. And I think if you ask his kids, they would tell you that. It's just harsh to realize that we've been duped, bro. That's the hardest thing when it comes to food, history, bro. If it ain't mathematics or science, in most cases, these people done lied to us. And that's hard to admit that we went down the wrong road, bro.
So I'm trying to separate, because I'm trying to follow. And specifically to Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King. The version that is in front of us, the propaganda that we see in schools and in Black History Months, and the I Have a Dream, and the monuments, and how great Martin Luther King was and what he stood for. You're saying that it's a lie?
What I am saying is, boy, Here go all them endorsements, Regina. Regina said, No, bro, like, integration was the worst thing that ever happened to Black people. Being enslaved is just losing a war. Like, once we integrated, we thwarted the opportunity to teach our own children. We don't have no options on what we teach Black kids in public schools. Think about this, y'all. In a lot of public schools, in a lot of colleges, they tell Black men that they can't wear locks. Your natural hair. Dog, do you see that they say they can do anything to meet that they want to, put anything they want to without telling you the truth about it? Think about right now in America, what Black people have influence over what happens to their children in general. What they feed them, what they see on TV, what they hear on the radio, any of those things. So by integrating, by even saying that you want civil rights, take the word, the operative part of the word is civil, right? You say.
Now, I heard him say this before, and I told y'all I would definitely agree with that, bro. Like, us integrating us that civil rights stuff. And me and CJ was just talking about this, bro. And the crazy thing about it, that nigga told me, like, bro, I listen to the older folks before. Whoever was walking with Martin Luther King, I don't listen to them. People before that, they knew what the process, they knew what was going on. You feel me? So, and I don't know how many of people them still around that's from back then, but I definitely agree, bro. Like, I know people are scared and they're saying like we headed back to the Jim Crow days, but I want to ask this question, bro. What do we have that's so much better than what we had before? I think we are content with the little bitty pieces of whatever the white people give us. This white system that we living in, bro. I think that we forget that Black people used to run things in this world. Like, you have the Moors, you have people before the Moors. You talk about everybody in the Bible was Black. So we knew it was a time where Black people were running the thing. The Pope used to be Black. Like, this is all in history that they not gonna just out here directly tell us. That stuff that we had to go research and find. But a lot of people don't know about this, bro. They don't know about the real history of everything, bro.
I just want you to treat me civilly, right? And anything that you do in life, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna make 100, right? Even if you're great. So if you fall short of civil, that means they treat a dog better than they treat you. I don't want civil rights. I want you to treat me like the God that I am. And so what I'm saying is that they take pieces of a person. Like, they couldn't stop Malcolm X, so what they made him was an X on a hat. The same thing that they did to Jesus in Christmas. They took Christ out of Christmas and put an X. These are the mind games that we don't see. And to be honest with you, as our friendship grows, these are the types of things that keep me up at night, Cam, because I see it. And it's so clear.
So you would have wanted segregation to stay segregated?
Well, I would have wanted Black people to build their own shit. I would have wanted Black people to praise their own God.
Okay.
I would want Black people to teach their own kids. I'm not saying that we can't be together, but would you respect somebody who you allowed to stay in your house, whether you forced them to stay there or not? And what, they've been staying there for 50, 60, 70, 80 years, 100 years? It's time for us to get our own. If we have our own, then we don't have to beg for anything. Like,
or the ability to create your own. Because I think that's a lot of suppression too, that's not being mentioned, especially going back to slavery. Mm-hmm. It's not to say that we couldn't have our own. We didn't have the rights to have our own. You feel what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is that even within that, man, like, I give you a great example. I told you, bro, if I had any power in the spaces that I wanted, it's coming. But like, bro, I would make you the Black Superman, bro. Like, period, dog. I don't want there to ever be a period where our children don't think that they're gods or that they're superheroes. Like, think about this. This is gonna mess y'all head up. A real superhero is a representation of a god. Wonder Woman is a god. Superman is a god. I love Black Panther. I don't want to be no cat. I want to be a fucking god. And what they telling us that we can't be gods when when the word hero comes from Heru, a black man. So the word comes from a black man, and you can't be a real hero. And then watch this, it's gonna fuck y'all head up. Where does Superman get his power from? Come on, y'all in here. From the sun. White people are allergic to what? The sun. There's no way Superman could be white. A white scientist said that it's not possible. They run from the sun. Superman is supposed to be darker than the darkest night ever.
I don't even understand how we don't understand. Like, we ain't never really. Well, I take that back. I do understand it because they don't teach it. But we all know that, you know, white people do not like the sun. Like, the heat, anything with that, bro. I learned that just by working and understanding how every time, bro, I can have the heat on, bro, barely. It be warm. They want that shit blasting and cold. So you gotta, like, I understand that they skin and the way they are made and stuff like that, bro. They're used to that winter mountain type cold shit. That's they shit. That's their vibe. That's their world, bro. Like, a white person can't get their energy from the sun. Like, it's not even possible, but that's what they have turned everything into, bro. And that's crazy. Even in the Bible, when you look at a blue-eyed, white Jesus, and it's telling you in Revelations where he like what he looks like with eyes, fiery eyes and stuff like that, and bronze hair. It's just like, bro, it's everything has just been tricked. They still keep they still keep a lot of the information in there, but we have been so blind by the pictures and how we feel like we know everything. A lot of things we don't. A lot of things is just generational, handed down, bro. Like, a lot of us don't even question what we've been taught. We just get it because you got to understand, like, wherever we getting it from either our parents or whatever environment we're growing up in. So we're taking their belief and their truth at hand without really researching what's really going on.
These are the things that I notice, and it be fucking my head up, dog. I can't sleep. And I be like, don't nobody else see it? And then when I say it, Negroes say that I'm crazy. When I said something about that, I can't say it because last time I said it, they threw me off TV. Like, and look at what they're saying about what happened to people after they took that. Blood clots. They can't have children. They die. I missed the movie because of that. But they acted like I was crazy when I said something about it. Bro, I'll just tell you this. From this point in my life, and this is going to surprise you, I really want to be around good human beings. Everything that I do in my life will always be for Black people. But I realize that it is important for me to do for me, and those who see it can come along. Those who don't have to suffer. And they will suffer until they see if my way is the right way, it's the way to go. But Cam, it's the best time in history. Why everybody's scared and why so many wild things is happening in the world. If we had our shit together, it wouldn't take but a couple of us to put our money together, bro. We can go buy and do anything. We can go buy up Ghana. We can go any of these places, buy land here. We can go back to Mississippi.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Point blank period. No sugar code, no nothing. Are you a racist?
Am I a racist? No. You have to have power in order to be a racist. I may be a bigot. I mean, I might be that if you want to call me something. I'm not, but I'm just saying. What people won't tell you about the word racist is, in order for you to be a racist, I can't stop white people from shopping at no grocery store, can I? I can't stop.
All right, y'all. So I've had this discussion as well before. It's a difference between racism and privilege. I mean, not privilege. I'm sorry, y'all. Prejudice. I did a whole episode of Dick Gregory? Yeah, Dick Gregory and Ice-T, John Sally on the interview. Y'all go check it out on my podcast. I mean, on my channel. It's the difference between racist and prejudice. Racist, you have to have power. Prejudice is somebody not liking you based off who, like, you're like, just off not knowing you, your skin, your race, your race, your ethnicity, that's a prejudiced person, bro. So it's a difference between prejudice and racist, even though it's all underneath the same window. But to be racist, you gotta have a problem. And then if you go break down the Pacific, perfect, like if you break down the word, just break down the word racist and then put race and then put is, and then you got race, and then you know what IST mean first. So race is only really means you put in your race first. And if you don't believe me, go read a dictionary.
From going to no club but no school, can I? I can't be racist. I don't have no fucking power. You can't be black and be racist if you know the true root of the word. I study every day of my life. There's no way black people can be racist. Now, if you want to look at the word racist in the way that most people think of it, which I don't, Marcus Garvey said, and this blew my head off. He said he doesn't have a problem with white people's racism. He has a problem with black people's lack of racism. If we thought of ourselves and put ourselves first the way that they do, then we would be just fine. But we put everybody before we put ourselves in anything, dude. So maybe we should be.
Do you have any relationships, partnerships, alignment of other cultures outside of?
Fuck yeah!
Okay.
Dude, let me tell you something.
Clark, how's your silk press staying so sleek on these 2-week vacations?
No comment. But I did use Shea Moisture Silk Press in a bottle, so my hair was protected from the humidity. Clark?
Vitamin water helps keep me hydrated from opener to encore.
This ain't a dance that I can afford to miss. My hands on the waist and I'm caught in bliss. Next thing you know, it felt just like this. Come on.
Vitamin water from New York.
When I hire, I look for black people first. But the real truth is I need the most qualified people. The company is black because I'm black. I'm able to hire who and what I want to by the success of the company. I don't really give a fuck who works. My preference is to be around my people, yes, but we have to be successful first. That was part of the problem with my career. Every time I was close, bro, I would go off and try to save the world. You know, I'll give you a great example. You know, people talk about all the things that I did for Katrina and you know, how admirable of a man I was. And I did, they say, arguably the biggest urban relief concert in history for Katrina. But guess what I ended up finding out? Yeah, we raised right around $1 million. Katrina was $1 billion problem. Even if all the rappers in the world had put their money together for Katrina, it wasn't shit we could do. Nothing we could do. And then black people, we put more pressure on our rappers and our entertainers, our football players and basketball players than we do on the motherfuckers who getting paid to do that kind of shit. But I realized I used to think that God was telling me to do that. God didn't tell me to do that shit. My ego told me to do that. It ain't my responsibility to save nobody but my ass. And if I have children, then you brought them in the world. You're a lot better at that than I am. I ain't quite. Yes, sir. But I'm gonna catch up.
That's so crazy. I think I've been said that. And this is probably the first year I really it hit me like, bro, you cannot save everybody. You got to save yourself. You got to do what you got to do best for your family. And I'm 35, bro. And I think it just hit me this year. Because I've always been that type to feel like I got to do this. I got to help this. I got to get this type of information. That's why I haven't been speaking about certain, like I do these reacts because my mind has been everywhere. It's just been wired so differently right now. And it like sometimes we got to take time to really feel it ourselves. When you take in so much knowledge, bro, sometimes it can be overwhelming. And sometimes you just need time to process it. Sometimes you got to process the things that you're going through in life. We have new obstacles, new hurdles to jump over every day. And we over here putting so much on our shoulders and stuff, but nobody really, do you feel like you'll get the, like, y'all let me know, do y'all get the same love in return that y'all give out? And a lot of people don't. I know I don't. that's why it's so hard for me to be collabing with everybody, bro. Cause I know what I've tried to do. I know, and it's only backfired on me. While everybody else, I feel like, has succeeded or doing what they doing or not doing nothing at all, I'm still at a standstill where I don't feel like I should be further along than where I'm at. And I'm just at a point now where it's just frustrating because I'm trying to get out of this and I don't know what the fuck to do.
Bro, I practice a lot.
Boy, listen,
if
boy.
you know what I'm saying.
I understand
but
that.
you're a king.
Yes,
don't ever let nobody, don't ever let people who don't have or do. I say that about Nick Cannon too. Y'all are kings. You deserve what a king has because you can take care of. I ain't never not heard of you not taking care of what's yours, bro. So if you could get 150 and pay for them, I'm proud of you. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what God did. If we put all our faces together, that's God. All you doing is acting like God. You're a little bit better than most of us. And then with your big ass, we need as many motherfuckers that look like you around this bitch. Y'all, this motherfucker, I'm telling y'all, he look like Superman. I just told a motherfucker this. I love him to death. Y'all know I'm a pretty decent fighter. I'm not fighting this big mother. This is a big old motherfucker. What the fuck was they feeding you, dog? Dog, bro, I just got a question. Well, you don't know because you're not short and you are a big motherfucker. Bro, I can imagine you could look over most of the field when you was behind that ball, bro.
Nah, I tell you this, in real life, I have a drone like visual of most people. Cause like I'm looking down, I see that bald spot in the dude's heads. I be seeing them extensions in folks' hair. I be seeing all the stuff
you a petty motherfucker just like me.
Yeah.
Bro, on the
I be seeing it. I be like, okay, what's up, bro? It's time. All right, cool. You still holding on. You bald as a mug.
Bald nigga.
But to eyeball to eyeball, you gotta throw. But between me and you need to let it go.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Do you watch the Invincibles, the cartoon?
The Incredibles?
Invincibles. This motherfucker a Viltrumite, dog.
Oh, no.
Y'all saw how when them kids, the motherfuckers started attacking him, them bodies just started flying. I was like, damn, Cam, motherfuckers was flying in there like shit.
Them weren't kids, though.
They weren't? That's even better then.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, to you, they were children.
Don't slight me. And I ain't proud of that.
I am. Let me have my time. This is for me.
Go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I saw that motherfucker in the airport one day, and I'm a pretty big dude. Like, understand, average motherfucker, I'm much bigger than they are. I'm like, damn, that's a big old motherfucker. And seriously, dog, I was thinking, like, dog, once I get my superhero shit on, because that's really my dream, is to make sci-fi films. Bro, you gotta come and do it, bro. You gotta do it for the culture because you're a hero, whether you like it or not. You know, I know that y'all had this in the questions, but I'm gonna jump a little bit. One of the reasons why I wanna be in the high-end fashion is because I want little black boys to know that you can be a heterosexual, strong man and still be in fashion. It's okay for you to dress how you wanna dress and express yourself. You know what I'm saying? I think that's very important, bro, because ain't nothing soft about you, bro.
Can I check you something real quick? I just want to be in fat. High fashion, low fashion, just fashion. Fashion for me is a way of self-expression. And I think oftentimes people get excused because it's high fashion. Like to me, things. This was this brand, this was that brand. I went to Neiman's to get this one. I went to Nordstrom to get that. I went to Paris to get this. But it's all expression. I don't care how much you pay for them heels, baby. I don't care how much you pay for them shoes, my boy. I just wouldn't wear it. You feel me? And we get so caught into, I spent $1,700 on this bag or $17,000 on this bag. And it's like, but I wouldn't wear that. I wouldn't rock that.
But let me tell you why I do, though.
Okay.
The reason why I do is Malcolm said by any means necessary. Right? It doesn't necessarily mean war. I want to be where my people's interest is. Like the real truth, I can say this on your show. Bro, I was never into Ferraris and jewelry and all of that kind of stuff, but I realized that our children are. So if I want their attention and I know that's where their attention is, I'm going to go to where my people attention is, as long as it doesn't compromise my manhood or my soul.
Yeah.
So I'm in the high fashion because, number one, for some reason, and this is really sad, man, bro, I didn't really get paid as a producer. And I've produced Quincy Jones, I've produced Maroon 5, Chris Brown, like all of these different people, Wayne, Tip, it goes on and on and on. People didn't really pay me until I bought a Bentley. I mean, white cats can walk around looking like a troll, bro, and no shoes on and dusty and half addicted on meth and get paid.
That's the shit I'm talking about, bro. And that he is not lying, bro. White people can walk around with sandals on, fucking Payless, a goddamn Walmart polo shirt and everything, and got more money than the nigga that's walking around here trying to goddamn with Jordans on. And man, I just seen this thing went down at Lennox Saturday, bro. Everybody outside for them APs, them $300 AP, bro. And it's like, bro, I look at how many people was really at that goddamn place, and it don't shock me because I know how people is down here now, bro. Lennox has become one of the places I don't think I've ever taken my kids to Lennox. I probably won't. I always taking them to like, I taking them Sandy Spring. I take them out to like Perimeter Mall or Georgia, the Mall of Georgia, to get them away from all that, bro. Cause Lennox ain't nothing but a goddamn somebody want to be rich flex store. Like it's not the same, bro. When we grew up in Lennox was, I don't know, bro. It was different going to Lennox back in the early 2000s. Now you go to Lennox, don't nobody from Atlanta that's really from Atlanta really care about going no damn Lennox, bro. We ain't been tapped out of that for real. And it might just be a new generation. It might just be, you know what I mean? Like, but this new generation is a lot different and crazy and wilder, bro. And I don't know. But he definitely right, bro. Go. And I'm gonna start doing that, bro. Like, I gotta really just figure out what the new generation, because that's where I gotta spend most of my focus on the kids, because I do have a good relationship with kids. I just don't lately. I just haven't been connecting the way I should, and I got to get back to that. But he's right, man. I got to figure out how to be able to draw kids and get them to listen to what I'm saying too more. And I know what comes with that, like just having certain things and being like, you got to look like you got money, you got to look like this and that. And I'm over that page of my life, but I understand that if I want to make the impact that I want to make in kids' life or do what I need to do, I gotta go where their attention is at. Cause their attention ain't gonna last long if it's boring or it ain't cool to them.
$1 million a track, but for some reason I have to wear my money on me. So what I learned is, if God gives you information, if God illuminates you to know where our interest lies, if I can be a part of that and bring them to me. Then the other fucking thing, if you gonna spend that kind of money with Louis Vuitton and Gucci, motherfucker, don't ever ask me for shit. You gonna pay me. You gonna fucking pay me. And I mean that. I'm a lot of things, and you gonna laugh at this. But I am not joking. Before a motherfucker can tell you that David Banner is cheap, they'll tell you I gave it to him for free. I'm never cheap. I'm never discounted. You know why I will give it to you for free? Because free is still priceless. Motherfucker can't never say they lowball me ever again in life, bro. You are worth what you say and what you know. God loves you so much. If you say you a slave, you are. If you say you a nigga, you are. If you a God and you act like one, you that too. And you are worthy of being praised. So I am in the high fashion, and then I really got into that shit, and I like the way it feel, and I bullshit. I'm on their motherfucking ass. I mean it.
But within the last 3 minutes, if we ain't know where he was from, this is a Mississippian right here, boy. Real spill.
Boy.
I want to go back to something real quick, and we can.
And I'm having a great fucking time,
I love
bro.
where we at.
Good job, dog.
How would you want Black history to be taught if you could control it?
If I could control it, I would just want people to tell the truth. There's not many things, bro, that we didn't create. Bro, I'm learning more and more every day. I just bumped into the black rock group Death from Detroit. They were the ones that started grunge music. Matter of fact, by the time they figured out how much people loved them, they were a reggae group and they started a whole genre of music and didn't know it. Bro, you got to think about it. Just about anything that's connected to work, black people had to have created it because them motherfuckers wasn't working. They had us. We created the cotton gin. So what they did, and what I can say that I'm learning from white people that has changed my life, we are so talented that we spend more time doing the talent than creating systems.
Ask Her to Mew is powered by Shopify, both online and in person. Shopify enables.
I give you a great example. The reason why the NBA always plays with the game, because white boys really can't be active in playing the actual game no more. They just don't physically have the talent. So they play with our lives. They play with us. They put rules and set rules and say, okay, let's try a new ball. Let's see if we can get the 4-point shot. That's how they play with us. They play with our lives on a whole nother level, right? That's what we have to start doing, is setting up systems. People know my criticism on most conventional religions, but I realize that if I convince someone that they need to change the way that they think, there's not a system for them to land into. You know, where are they going to go if they don't go in the white people's system? That's the reason why we give up and just go back to them, because we don't have nowhere to go. Bro, imagine this. As smart as you are and how intellectual you are, the kind of money that you have, and I'm not criticizing this. I'm just saying I noticed it myself. We spend so much time in the talent. Imagine you being in a place and just implementing shit. All you got to do is watch the system, pay for it, sign your name, and keep it moving. Look at Oprah Winfrey. For a very long time, Oprah had to be on every fucking cover of her magazine or it wouldn't sell. Had to be in every movie that came out of her company. You know what I'm saying? That's not freedom. And I started realizing that, like, damn, I got a system of producers that I use. This last album that I worked on, bro, my producers got more tracks than I did. And I was happy about that, bro. So that's what I want to do. I want to be in a position, bro, like I'm serious. I see something in you that you don't see. Bro, you in a superhero movie, dog, it's over. Your motherfucking ass take off and run. They have to build some new cameras. I'm like, what the fuck? This motherfucker flash for real.
More pixels.
I see it, dog. But we got to set up the systems.
Let's talk about movies real quick. Seeing Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler win their Oscar for a film that was rooted in deep Black Mississippi culture, the movie obviously Sinners. What did that moment feel for you, actually being a representative from Mississippi?
What meant more to me than even the movie is that a young man from the city that the movie was about, the movie didn't show in that city. He talked about it online. And Ryan Coogler and his wife and the studio got together and went and took the movie back to Mississippi. And I was so proud because Ryan Coogler said something, man, and he's one of the dudes I respect the most, bro. Even the way that he speaks. You know, he's unapologetic.
He got that Oakland. He got that Oakland in him.
The way that he loves his wife, bro, and builds his wife. Just the embodiment. And he hasn't missed yet. People are not noticing that. He has not fucking missed.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, it's impossible to do, dog.
That's hard to do.
That's impossible to do.
Because even, and I'm sorry, and this is just my Rotten Tomatoes, Rotten Pears, or just movie critique. All right. What's my man, Get Out? Jordan Peele. A lot of his movies, like Get Out was of epic proportion. A couple of ones after that was just like, okay, it's not. The Us was a little deep too, because it was like, okay, he's back. And then it was just, okay, where we at? It's getting too heavy. But Fruitvale Station, you had the Black Panther. You don't want to be that's you. But then you drop the Sinners. And this is what I even heard from, I heard Coogler. I heard Tyler Perry. With the budget that you have allocated to create, you maximized what you had.
That's what they do to us. We'll take 2 dimes and rub the motherfuckers together and make that shit hot. That's just our people. You know, but what I'll say, man, is that he brought that movie back to Mississippi. And he said something so powerful. I pulled him to the side, and I don't like talking about what men talked about. I don't like to talk about what men talk about in private, but this was so beautiful, and it let me know that how much he really loves Mississippi. I pulled Ryan to the side. I was like, hey, dog, if it's about Mississippi, bro, why didn't you just shoot it in Mississippi, bro? And he said they didn't have the facility that it took, he needed in order to give the beautiful vision of how he wanted to look. He didn't want to sell Mississippi short. The vision, because it's about Mississippi anyway, bro, it blew me away. It blew me away because I may want to shoot or produce my song in your studio, but if you don't have the stuff that I need in order for it to sound on this level, then I'm doing the artist a disservice and I'm doing the people a disservice. So Ryan's ability to study the game, the cameras, the way that it's going to roll out on the screen, all of these things, bro, that he is bringing to the game, I promise you, bro, I haven't seen that type of love, you know, for art. And I just want to tell you that's something, when I told you I didn't finish the statement about me rapping and how I'm rapping, I don't know why God brought it to me this way, but I've never been this sober in my life and recorded. Like, I thought I needed to be high. I thought I needed to be drunk in order to get the God side out of me. For me to tap in what I am tapped into now, and I don't have to be high. I may get high, but I don't have to be there. I can bring God and be in communion with God with a sound mind, bro. Oh, come on. And I'm watching Ryan and his wife do that. And then
How's your silk press staying so sleek on these 2-week vacations?
No comment. But I did use Shea Moisture Silk Press in a bottle, so my hair was protected from the humidity. Clock it.
He found another man that he can stand by side, and they move at the same time, and they both know their places and love the places and don't want to be in any other place but that. Come on, bro, you can't stop.
I'm gonna stop you right there because I love where we at. And my son is here, Jaden. I call him China, and I want him to hear this message because that's what I have for him. I want him to fall in love with video film production. Just fall in love with it. Because if you fall in love with something, that's what this generation is missing, the love of it. And to my point, while the love of something is so important, compensation will come in many ways than just financial.
Do you mind if I add something for him?
For sure.
Okay. So this is something that they don't tell Black children. The reason why I think the love is so important, because in anything you do, you have to invest a certain amount of hours. They usually say right around 10,000 hours, right? So I said this and I got in trouble. I'm going to say it again. I know this is crass, but take it for face value. Imagine getting paid to do porn. That's what you did every day. I love having sex. If somebody paid me, I might shake my little tootie. No, but listen, no, seriously. No, seriously though.
You're talking
making
right
beats.
Now, bro.
No. I'm just.
I got you.
No, but let me tell you. I said that.
I don't want you to be a porn star.
No, I don't either. But you know the point, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Don't you get it?
No.
I like you even more. No, but no. I said that in front of a group of kids, and people were like, "Oh, why did you say that?" I said because we treat our children like they don't know better.
They don't know,
and if we don't,
or they don't know at all.
Yeah.
You know, in this generation, people love what.
What up, bro? I appreciate it. That's something I've been learning as well. And it's a balance of not telling them or showing them too much, and I don't know no more, bro. Because what everything's online now, bro. everything, and even if it's not online, bro, it's so much going on in these schools now. You feel me? Like we didn't have the access to the schools, to the cell phones and stuff. So the access that they have, and they have access at school, and they on TikTok, their friends on TikTok at school, they're going to see it. It's not like how we was in school. We didn't. You had to be around certain people to really, really, really know what was going on or to really understand it. Now you don't have to be around them. You could just be on your phone, feel me, and see or know what's going on right here and right there. So I think now just being open and communicating, talking to them, know what's going on with your kids, what's going on in their mind, and then you can still do all that, and I'm gonna be real with you, and they still can go out here and do what they want to do. So even as a parent, man, I think sometimes we have to not put fault on everything on us. If we are, I'm talking to the parents that's really there for their kids and that's active and that's going 110. Like, yeah, I know nobody's perfect. I know it's a lot of situations that I wish I could go back and change, and I'm not perfect, but I do know the type of father I was trying to be, that I am, and still am trying to be. And like I said, bro, and don't feel like you can't open up to your kids because you worried about or this and that, or how they gonna look at you, man. You rather them look at you and be honest with them than them finding out about the situation that you lied about, and then they not being able to trust you or talk to you about anything, and then they go do it behind your back. Having that type of communication or being able to talk to your kids and them to be open is very, very valuable.
Comes with what they potentially do rather than the art of it.
Yeah.
What I see in Tyler Perry, what I see in Ryan Coogler, what I see in so many different artists that have not yet got to that platform yet is their desire to put on great work. And what is missed is, even I see a lot of music. Folks don't really like making music. They love what comes with making a hit song. So now, even for football, I talk to kids on a day-to-day basis, and I'm like, bro, you just don't love the sport. You love what can come from the NIL is, whoa! Like the amount of money that these kids are making is astronomical, and it can.
So that was my problem. I didn't love none of the sports. I ain't gonna say I didn't love it. I know I didn't love boxing. I had a real like for boxing, but I hated. I didn't love it as much as everybody else did. Football, during that period of time, I say this, as a kid, I didn't think I loved it as much as I did as when I wasn't playing anymore. And I can say this now, I don't know about regret anything, but even now, bro, like when it comes to sports, bro, like I don't, everything that comes behind sports and just being in sports, bro, it will make you lose the love of it, especially now, because everything like it's about the money, about the NILs and shit like that. So my bad, y'all, but it everything that comes with that, man, you gotta find the real love or passion of why you're doing something, because once it becomes a business and it's like all business and you lose the fun for it, it'll never be the same for you.
It can skew your love for that sport, when I'm just saying, hey, bro, if you just love throwing the best football that you possibly can throw, and why your accuracy is being affected by, so if you fall in love with those things, the compensation will come.
The only problem with that, though, bro, I'll add to that, is that has always been our problem, is that we love the things that we do so much that they end up getting us on the other end, right? One thing that I say about the NBA, when people start criticizing people who are jumping from team to team, I say, but owners trade us like slaves and cattle all day, and nobody ever criticized them for not being loyal to.
But it's a business, though.
Well, but no, see, when it comes to white people, hold on, watch this. When it comes to white people, we make excuses for them doing the same thing. Okay. Business is fucking personal. If you trade me and I live here, my family is.
I said that a long time ago, bro. I take everything personal. Business, everything. And some people be like, nah, bro, you can't take business personal. Damn that. Especially when I got family and people that depend on me and shit and stuff like that. Like, I don't like doing business with everybody. That's why I haven't been able to expand my business like I need to, because everybody don't do good business, bro. And I don't know why, bro, but everybody just don't do good business. And the people that do business together, they got that same, I don't know, bro. I can't speak on their business, but for me, I can't fuck with everybody.
Here, you're disrupting my whole life. If me and you make a deal and you find a loophole in the contract and you fuck me over, that is very personal. See, white people have the ability to say that it's business and not personal because they never really cared about you in the first place. You were always a product to them.
Yeah.
They never looked at black people.
But I don't think that's a white man thing.
I do. Hold on a second, excuse me, bro.
If I could pick just one product for my silk press, it's Shea Moisture Silk Press in a bottle. I apply a few pumps to freshly washed and detangled hair before blow drying. It's lightweight, protects up to 410 degrees, and it keeps frizz and humidity under control. This has to be my best at-home silk press yet.
Vitamin water helps keep me hydrated from opener to encore.
This ain't a dance that I can't afford to miss. My hands on the waist and I'm caught in bliss. Next thing you know, it felt just like this. Come on.
Vitamin water from New York.
Okay, Cam, let me ask you a question.
Go right ahead.
Since the draft is coming up, I hear a lot of people say that the NFL draft is very similar to the slave auction. How did you feel from all perspectives, but especially that perspective when you were drafted?
The visual could give off the same, but even knowing that to this day, I would do it all over again. Because at that specific point in time, that was my way of being able to change my family bloodline for the rest of my life. And if that's what the comparable is, I knew what that was, and it was more opportunity for me than anything else. Some, use that analogy, not knowing that everybody that's involved knows what comes with that specific situation. It is a business. And this is why I say it's not a black man, white man thing. It's a green man, blue man thing. It's all about money. If John Pierre, who's an extremely talented editor on our team at Funky Friday, if he does something that goes against our values at Funky Friday, he knows, I know, we'll have to remove our relationship. That's business. But here's the plot twist. If John Pierre, who's an unbelievable, incredible editor on Funky Friday, gets another opportunity from elsewhere, and he says, Cam, John A., respectfully, I just got an opportunity to do this over here. If you guys aren't going to match it, respectfully, I got to do what's right for my family. It's not personal, it's business. And I would understand and say, Doc, I can't match that. You know what I'm saying? Like the way our budget is set up for, I want you to get your just due. I seen your family. I seen everything that you're working towards, bro. Man, go rock out.
Can I add something to that?
Please.
This is what I believe about America, though. It's easy for us to see it from that perspective because in recent times, we've never had true power. It is business to white people as long as we are always the consumer, as long as we are still the talent. If you all have ever noticed in any of these super big deals, once a black person establishes that kind of power, then it's no longer just business. Oh no, we don't want you to do that. I'll give you a great example. Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson was best friends.
I heard that. But you know what? I swear on everything I love, I just seen that. Keep going.
Well, you feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
It is.
But tell the story about Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson.
Well, Michael, they would talk, Paul McCartney, if I'm correct, and I'm paraphrasing, was teaching Mike, about
business.
publishing and business.
The business.
And Mike was like, well, damn, since it's just business, I want to buy the Beatles publishing.
But the Beatles publishing was also attached to so many different other black.
Right.
Okay.
And watch this. As soon as Michael Jackson bought that publishing, it ain't just business no more. It ain't just a friendship now.
Yeah.
one thing that I've never said this in any other place, bro, and I give this to you because of where we are trying to allow our relationship to grow, bro, is that most white people won't admit it, but they still look at us as if we are something to be owned. Like, we are supposed to be happy with the scraps. We're supposed to be happy just to be in the game. We're supposed to be happy. I remember one time, and I'm not going to speak about the company because I'm still a working man who needs certain opportunities. But I remember turning down an opportunity that most black men would have said yes to without even reading the contract. I just have always wanted to. I think that's been my lesson with God. Is every time I've ever tried to take the corporate route, every time I've tried to take the easy route, besides the very first time I got my deal and I needed that foundation, is not went right for me. Like, we're gonna have to get used to owning ourselves, not just for us, but think about it, man. My cousin was in the group that one of the greatest horn samples of all times, hip hop, the most sampled horn sample of all time. I can't even sample my family's music, bro, because we don't own anything, bro. So what I'm saying is yes, it is business until we become bigger than business, until we start trying to buy networks. And I was going to say this person's name, but it's not even worth going into that. It was all cool. You can do any movie you want to do. Ryan Coogler is a great example of that. They were criticizing this man because he negotiated a deal that has really never been heard of, black or white. It's cool as long as you feeding us movies and you sinners, but you want to own the movie again? Oh, that's a problem. So what I'll say, and this is not anything that I'm trying to debate with. It's just something that I want to lay on you because you're going to make it to that level. I see it in you. When you start getting power and you've already started it, dude, you shooting in your shit, bro. As soon as you start owning and not wanting to sell everything, the business is going to change and it's going to stop being about business and about how much power you're able to accrue. The fact that you have your son up here, bro, giving him opportunity. People were talking about nepotism when it comes to some sports player. Them white boys, daddy get him some every fucking day of their damn life. Let me get a child. I'm gonna give my son everything that he wants. It's not gonna be easy for him. He's gonna have to learn. He's gonna have to earn it. But you are supposed, again, racism. Marcus Garvey said, I have no problem with white people's racism. I have a problem of black people's lack of racism. You're supposed to do that for your son. Mm-hmm. Ice Cube was the most honest. No, for sure. They asked him, was it nepotism when it comes to his son? Ice Cube said, hell fucking yeah. It better be.
But it's important. Mm-hmm. You're drinking coffee.
Yeah.
China, did you go get coffee this morning?
Or myself?
Just in general.
I got that coffee right there.
My point. It's small things. Because either going into the NFL, I never had the conventional corporate kind of, relationship where I had to start in the bottom.
Don't say that shit. It was hard, though.
Yeah, I understand that. So for him, he's not making it to the league. So if he can remember days where now his younger brother or a person, when he starts to have children and say, man, I did the same things, dog. It's no skipping the steps. Mm-hmm. I believe in nepotism. We all believe in nepotism. But understand that I ain't giving you nothing. I had to strip his car from him. He think, oh, man.
All right, y'all. So look, I got to get up out of here. I'm going to end it. What I ended at 1 minute. I mean, 1 hour, say 1 minute, 1 hour and 3 minutes. I might do a follow-up part 2 of this. It was a good episode, good information, man. Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel about everything David Banner was talking about, just growth as a man, our black people racist, the industry, and just us as black people learning how to understand about not want to sell everything and keeping ownership about what we create, our product, our venture, and us being able to brush off and expand and buy land and just really understand how special we are as people, man. Y'all let me know in the comments Before I get up out of here, y'all, please click, subscribe, comment. Let me know any feedback. Y'all let me know in the comments, please. I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. Rest in peace to my brother Q. This is another episode of Same Goal, Different Struggle Extended, y'all. I'm out.